and welcome back to Pride, the podcast. We are so excited to have activist, entrepreneur, producer, and author Salah Bachir.
Hi.
Hi, Salah.
Hello.
How are you on this beautiful fall evening?
I'm great. How are you all doing?
Doing wonderfully. Y'all. I love that, y'all.
We're trying to make it. It's not the best of times these days with everything that's happening
Yeah.
in the news, but we're trying to, move forward. How are you, Salah? Where are you located?
I'm outside of Toronto. We have a country house in Paris, Ontario, which is a beautiful old house built in 1842 that escaped during COVID too, but it used to be a weekend house, but we're spending more time here. And
that sounds fabulous. The background is very picturesque.
I know. I was going to say. So for our listeners, there's a beautiful fireplace. It looks like with maybe some marble, a beautiful French doors, a white suede chaise lounge. Am I getting all that right? It's all I like. Or is that just your Zoom background?
No, that's my house, and my dog might jump up any minute, but it's good part of the background.
No, that's beautiful.
Looks lovely.
It's giving me very French country. I don't know.
Lots of art. If all my places, or not very many places, we have lots of art. We had about 3,000 pieces of art. We've donated about 1,000 pieces the last 2 years, and
wow.
everywhere, like from hospitals to community centers to universities to museums and galleries.
Oh, well, we have a studio that could use some love if you have some.
Right, you have some free time.
Come on,
you're not busy.
No, and you can choose your pieces, or we can send you. I can send you some.
Love it.
Oh, I love that.
So, Salah, tell our listeners. I know we just introduced you as basically the master of everything. So, what is right now today your main passion? If you could just pick one, is it producer, author, activist?
Well, I'm on this book promotion tour right now, and so it's like good old salesman, getting out there and telling people about my book and doing that. I'm still doing a bunch of fundraising. The launch of the book will be at a community center, one of the oldest, for about 50 years, queer community centers in the world, called the 519, where I'm honorary patron. And so we're doing the book launch as a fundraiser. When it's sold out, $10,000 a table, and then we have a couple of old, great Canadian performers, Carol Pope, and Lorraine Segata, who did the song "Rise Up, Rise Up." They're singing at the gala, and we have Margaret Atwood and Adam McGowan and a few other people like that showing up.
Wow, this is the who's who.
Right.
That's so exciting. So, yes, tell us about the book.
My book.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a great 5-color. I got to send you one. So
we would love that.
This is the book, and it's the first book to have pronouns on the cover. Imagine after all these bloody fucking years, no one's put pronouns on the cover.
Wow.
We always expect the trans community or people who are fluid and stuff to identify, but I thought, hey, I've gotten so many letters addressed to Ms. Salah Bachir, so I thought I'm going to put it front. And then Penguin Random House said they've never seen it.
Wow.
That is,
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Me either.
I haven't either, and now I'm questioning why haven't I? Why are you, out of respect, of course, Bachir, but like it sucks that you have to be the first.
Well, and then there's all these gender, learning about gender and pronouns, and you get the book and you look at them and the person's gender isn't on the cover. And you think, hey, give me a little bit of hint of where you're coming from, what's your background.
I have that. I have it in my signature in my work email.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
Because too often I send out blasts and I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to assume this person's gender. But here we go. I'm going to just send this blast out.
But wouldn't it be great if a lot of corporations who say they're allies but ask people voluntarily to identify themselves? And, it would go a long, it's a small little gesture, but it's a huge gesture that would go a long way in the hate that's going on and all the anti-trans stuff, all stuff.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't attack that to simply say, hey, like, how many Chris's do you know that you have no idea,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Sala, this book, it's actually your memoir. Is that right? First to
It's
leave the party?
kind of my memoir. It's told through other experiences with other people.
Mm-hmm.
And
Name a few. They're not just other people.
well, it starts here. I got to give you a whole list since we're not on video. It starts, the forewords are by Adam McGoyan and Alan Cumming. And it starts with Marlon Brando stops by for barbecue in my parents' backyard. Ella Fitzgerald, my mom's Gibby. Elizabeth Taylor, Katharine Hepburn, Jesse Norman, Tennessee Williams, Eartha Kitt, Aretha Franklin, Orson Welles, Phyllis Diller, Princess Margaret, Diane Carroll, Doris Day, Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward, Princess Diana, Andre Leon Talley, Betty Davis, Andy Warhol, Keith Haring, and the final chapter is Katie Lang sings at our wedding. But there's 54.
God.
Oh,
The
and
only person you're missing is Jesus.
well, I was going to say Pride the podcast,
Oh,
but
that too.
Jesus will take the cake. That's amazing. So, how did you get into this position to just run into literally the who's who of the world?
Quite a few quick. We did a tribute. We did a lot of fundraising to people at the end of their careers, and so we would do when people had been forgotten or discarded, or people weren't thinking of them anymore. Like Eartha Kitt did one of the first capital campaigns for us, and I became friends with her over the years and through her work with the children's charities here. And so the whole premise of the book is that it does, the title is First to Leave the Party, but my life with ordinary people who happen to be famous.
Mhm.
And we bonded over little things, somebody wants to go to Niagara Falls. Well, I've got a car, I could drive you. You don't have to do that. And that happened with Paul Newman, it happened with Ella, and happened with a bunch of people that were in town. And we became friends, but I also was more interested what they do with their celebrity. Like, how do they use their celebrity to change the world or give back or help? And so I featured people who had been forgotten in a way, and all the contributions had been that they made.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Wow.
Do you have a favorite?
That's what I was about to say. Or were there somebody that you did feel that star power from, where you were like, oh my gosh?
I have a couple that don't come out very nicely in the book, but everybody else comes out nicely.
Oh, give us a sneak peek.
Joan
What
Rivers.
you can. Joan Rivers?
Joan Rivers doesn't come out nicely.
No.
Oh no.
She's dead. What? Can we talk? No, it's done.
That's true. Karma.
Yes.
Karma.
I mean.
Oh no.
Joan was on a treadmill, really, and she said some very hurtful things to a lot of people, even though it was pretending to be a joke. And so quite a few people in weight issues, and if you think about it, how she harangued Elizabeth Taylor or Marlon Brando or Orson Welles. And we had her a couple of galas, and she just repeated the same old. I mean, she's a friend in a way, and did quite a lot for us, but she repeated the same stuff she had done at previous galas and made statements in front of the whole gala to say, like, okay, you people with AIDS, you thought you'd be dead by now and spending money. It was really, really negative, and there was a lot of people. And so it's a tender chapter, but sometimes you need to be funny, so you make fun of all different people. And so I contrast that with my relationship with Phyllis Diller, who did a lot of stuff that was self-deprecating. And at the end of Phyllis Diller's joke, to let you in, to know that she's in on as you go, I have to do a better. I'm not drinking as much wine as you guys, but something like that. But and she invented a fake husband, right? Fang was never real. I don't know if you're too young probably to remember Phyllis Diller, but
we know Phyllis Diller.
Mm-hmm.
And Jimmy Stewart doesn't get it off well. But
What?
You have to tune in for that one.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to know the story to that
you have
too.
to get the book.
When does it come out?
October 17th.
Oh, soon. Where can we get it? Because I definitely want to buy it, and then I want to send a copy to you if you don't mind to be signed for me. Is that okay?
I thought you're coming up to pick up some art.
Oh, that too.
Oh,
That's
right.
Yes, definitely have to do that.
Bring the book and come up.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, it's everywhere. Barnes and Noble, Amazon, everywhere. If you go, there's a website, salahabachir.com, and directs you to your local store as well, in both in Canada and the US. So whatever's easier, whoever delivers it to your door and the best looking person bringing it.
Don't
part.
Don't tempt me.
So what prompted you to share these stories? I mean, besides that they're awesome, but what was the motivation? You were like, this is what I want to write about.
I had a kidney transplant 4 years ago, and then I got sepsis during the kidney transplant. So I was in
oh my gosh.
And so they put a bag on the outside here where, out the whole bit. And then I went in for a reversal, and I had been on dialysis before for like 7 years, and my husband is my dialysis nurse, and we had built a couple of dialysis wings at different hospitals. So when I was laying in, there was so much negativity on social media, I started to tell stories I've told before, and so one person was visiting me, and she said she's going to see a new play, Piaf and Dietrich. And I would say things like, have you heard my Dietrich story? And everybody would say, yes, we've heard your Dietrich story. So, I put those things on Facebook as a lighter things, and everybody kept saying, it should be a book, it should be a book. And it started being anecdotes in a sense, but it was missing, how is that relatable to me, or how did I feel? Similar to different people. And then I worked with Jamie Bernard, who used to be the Jamie Bernard, she, her, she, her, we know Jamie's as well. So she used to be the film critic for the New York Daily News and New York Post, and written 10 books. And we had known each other for 40 years, but we reconnected over this writing. And so she helped me bring out a lot of personal stuff. It wasn't just like, this is what Eartha did, or this is what so-and-so did, but it was more personal and what happened. And so the whole memoir is unique. I know you're going to ask each other who should ask the next question. It's unique in that it's told through other people. So you'll learn a little bit about me throughout it, but the whole thing is told, like Patricia Neal, who had a stroke and had so many different things, and we honored her, and then how she was dismissed because she was ill. Doris Day, everybody dismisses Doris Day as a good old goody two shoes, everything. So Doris Day, tell me something fabulous about Doris Day. I'll play the professor here.
Oh gosh, now I'm nervous.
Doris Day, the only thing that comes to my mind, and don't get mad at me, Paula, is
I feel like it's the same thing
in Greece.
Of. Yeah.
Is what?
In Greece, when
Rizzo. Yeah.
Is comparing Sandra Dee to Doris Day in one of her songs.
I remember that song. So Doris Day, for anybody who's forgotten, was one of the biggest box office stars of all time. She was #1 4 times in a row. She was also, the only other person who did that was Shirley Temple. And there's a great quote, by the way, from Katharine Hepburn about Shirley Temple. She says, acting is the most basic thing, that if even a 4-year-old like Shirley Temple could do it, everybody could do it. But
wow.
And she was also the Billboard Star of the Year 9 years out of 10. No one has those kinds of things. But Pride podcast, Doris Day was the first famous person to hug and kiss a man with AIDS.
I did not know that.
Wow.
1985 with Rock Hudson. Rock Hudson came on she had an animal show on the Christian Broadcast Network, of all places. And he was her guest because they had starred in so many films together. And everybody, CNN was just becoming a fledgling, and everybody was like, wow, that picture went around the world at a time when hospitals wouldn't even allow partners or anybody to come and visit AIDS patients. Reagan hadn't even mentioned the word. Like nothing happened. So he came on the show. He looked gaunt and frail, and see, some of the things I'll tell you later, but are hard to me even to say now. But and the whole world knew he had AIDS, and he died in October 2nd, 1985, which was a day before my 30th birthday, and I was going off on the Concorde to Paris with a married man, and it was all going to be so much fun. But so she said then on again the Christian broadcast network, if there is a heaven, Rock Hudson's in heaven. Who would say that? Say about a trans person or anything, especially in America. I mean,
in the 80s,
85, before in height of AIDS, and before Princess Diana did anything, before anybody, that was Doris Day. So, but you don't get that image of Doris Day. You get this like white, blonde, lovely, que sera, sera kind of image. But so I wanted to remember and highlight people like that in the book. With
That's
my
beautiful.
Yeah.
Is there someone you wish you would have been able to meet or have a run-in with that you just didn't get the chance to?
A lot of people I wish I had a run-in with while I'm driving, but otherwise, no.
I experienced that. I 100% agree.
I mean, I think I had a job to do, and they had a story to tell, and I got a story out of them for the magazine. I published some of the best read magazines in Canada for the last 42 years, and so it wasn't. I mean, you all know that celebrities are a lot of work, right? Not because of them, but everybody disrupt everything they do. You can't have lunch without 5 people coming up and you can't have a moment. So taking them away from the spotlight, taking them to relax, and you're on the same level. That's mostly what the book is about.
And I'm sure they appreciate it to be treated just as a normal human being rather than just a pawn, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a spotlight on it, and just to be able to step away and not be recognized and not to be. But
yeah, well, I'm so excited to purchase and read the book and come up and get some art and get my book signed.
Right, all of the things
by the one and only Salah Bachir.
So would you pitch this as a movie? Like if this was shopped, would you I could totally see this as a movie.
Absolutely.
I'm open to anything. I'm open to, it's a book that went out there, and there's a lot of great anecdotes that we captured, and it turned into something I'm very proud of, which at the beginning we weren't sure of, and it has a lot of me in it as well. My husband likes my opening line in it, so I'm going to read it to you because I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
We got to talk about something else while I flip through this, because Alan Cumming did this incredible prologue. Okay. I have known I was gay since I was 8 years old, but I only realized I was an Arab at age 12. When I was over at a school chump's house and his dad asked, "Why is that dirty Arab here again?"
Oh, shit. Well,
with everything going on in the world today, I thought I should just read that line and
just dive in.
Yeah, just dive in.
that catches the attention very quickly.
Yeah.
I can't wait to read more.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Thank you.
Well, Salah, thank you so much for taking the time to come on Pride the Podcast and tell us about your book. Like I said, we're so excited to read it, come up there and get it autographed by you, buy some art. Here's some real stories that you didn't put in the book.
Right.
The real ones.
Real tea.
And for our listeners out there, please go and purchase First to Lead the Party, My Life with Ordinary People Who Happen to Be Famous. I love that title.
Yeah, see, that's why I could see that in a movie,
absolutely,
as a movie.
Yeah.
Wait, who would you want to play you?
Ooh.
Me?
Yeah.
I want to play me. Well, Probably a great drag queen of some kind. That would be wonderful. The book is read by Anne Marie MacDonald. I don't know if you've heard about her. She wrote "Fall on Your Knees" and "Frame." Incredible. It was so I wanted the book not read by me. I don't know.
I'm available.
Just go for it, Brad Pitt. I mean,
We won't tell your husband. We won't tell your husband.
Well, you're gonna pick up art, so it's like
right.
Oh my goodness. Well, Salah, thank you so much. Tell our listeners where, again, they can purchase the book coming out October 17th and where they can find you on all social media.
It can be purchased at Amazon or Barnes and Noble or anywhere else. And I'm on social media as Salah Bachir. And my website is salahbachir.com.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Well, thank you, Salah.
Thank you
If
so
you're ever in the
much.
dark and lost, look for the jewelry and it'll guide you home.
That's your housewives tagline.
Right.
There it
If
is.
you're not careful, I'm going to steal it.
That's a good one.
So you better write it down and tell Penguin Random House to publish it ASAP so I can't take credit for it. That's amazing.
When people ask me, it's an old joke, but I said it to Lula Bankhead said it, but I have no idea who said it or if anybody said it, but I attributed it to me dudes like, are your jewels real? And I said, darling, the only thing fake about me are my friends. And so
I'm also stealing that one.
Right.
Write it down, Salah.
Copyright.
I'm record already.
Thank you again, Salah.
Thank you.
Can't wait to read the book. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank
Stay in
you.
touch. Great. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.